What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Bluffton Tech Dynasty here on EA College Football 2025. It's been a rough first season for the Bluffton Tech Fighting Muskrats, as we are still searching desperately for our first win of the season, and that desperation is going to continue as we will take on one of the best teams in the MAC, and the Toledo Rockets. Toledo comes in with a very respectable 5-2 record. They're also 3-0 in conference play, and they are a team that has aspirations to go to the MAC championship, win it, and get that invitation to the Big Ten. You see the differences in roster talent, as Toledo is going to be the far superior team at 79 overall, while we're just a 69, which is not very nice in this circumstance. But the biggest key for us here today is to hold it down against Junior Vander Ross III. Junior Vander Ross is a crafty route runner. Even though he isn't the most physically gifted receiver, he reminds me of a chocolate Julian Edelman. So he's going to challenge us here with our corners, and hopefully we are ready for such challenge, as we are getting ready to go ahead, jump right into it. Hopefully you guys are excited as well, as I certainly am, because we're ready to get some MAC football officially underway. And if you're excited for Bluffton football to hit your screen shortly, I need you to go ahead and do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new to the channel. I'll see you guys on the field for the start of the Battle of I-75.
To the Toledo Rockets. A full house is in store, and so too a terrific matchup in this one. There's nothing quite like a great rivalry matchup in college football. The bitterness, the intensity, the lifetime of memories that will come as a result of what we're about to see in this one. As we'll see a squad from the back, a crew looking to make a statement, taking on the winners of 3 straight, the Toledo Rockets.
Alright boys, so we are officially out here in the Battle of I-75. We're going to cut to a little bit later in the first quarter. Both of our team and then of Toledo's squad both start out with 3 and outs. So right now, just an okay start to this game. Let's see if we can slowly but surely work our way down the field, right? As Armstrong's going to line up here in the shotgun. Going to try to throw it quickly over to right inside, but it was thrown late. It was thrown late, and it's going to be killed tremendously, as it's going to be taken all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Toledo. And Lance Dixon is going to start the scoring in the Battle of I-75 off with a pick 6. Yeah, absolutely hate to see it. And just like that, we're going to be down 7-0, which really goes to show, hey, let's really try to get this running game going here. I think that would help us out tremendously, as we'll go ahead and get the running started. As Will Peoples is able to move himself forward there for a little bit, get a gain of 7 on the run. You love to see it. As now 2nd and 3 coming up, as Armstrong lines up in the shotgun's going to hand it off again. Will Peoples stays on his feet. He's going to keep it going as well, and it's a first down for your Fighting Muskrats. And we'll immediately get right back to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10, we throw over the middle, trying to get it out to Javante Foreman, but Foreman could not hold on to that particular pass. So instead, it's going to be a 2nd and 10 coming up, as Armstrong's going to go out onto the perimeter. He's looking to see what adjustments are out there on the side. Might have a couple of matchups that we can exploit here, as there's a quick change here, thrown to the right-hand side, and that's going to be caught for a quick 5 yards there, and that was caught by the freshman Chris Gentry, as Chris Gentry makes this a much more manageable 3rd and 5. So with that being said, we'll make some adjustments at the line of scrimmage once again here, as Armstrong will again snap it. Gonna look for a big throw, but instead gonna scramble. Armstrong can't make it. He's not gonna make it to the first down marker. And even if he did, we would have been screwed over anyways, because Kalen Franklin is going to be called for a holding penalty, and that means that we are going to be short of the marker, 4th and 1. And you know what? We're coming in as a pretty big underdog here today. We got to take some chances, and this is one of them. Will Peoples able to pick up the first down, as that will move the chains for the Fighting Muskrats. Love this box that we're going to be provided here, so we're going to run it again with a good gain once more. So a solid drive going for your Fighting Muskrats. However, we face a 3rd and short once again. Armstrong is still a little bit on the cold side. Could go to multiple deep routes here as Armstrong is open, but it's going to get it out to the tailback instead and just barely gets that first down. Finds Will Peoples for the chains. Ooh, we made that a little bit more difficult than we should have because I wanted to really throw more of a bullet there, but hey, at least we pick up the first down. We keep the drive going. Let's see if we can do the same thing here as I wanted to throw quickly over the left-hand side. But Jeremiah Hughes of Toledo was there to break that pass up. And now it's 3rd and 10. Armstrong looks over to the right-hand side, and hanging on to it is gonna be, looks like, Chris Gentry. Oh man, this freshman wide receiver, he's certainly an electric one, but we gotta finish the drive now that we are here in the red zone. Armstrong looks over the middle, wide but naked open. It's Will Peoples in the end zone. Touchdown, Fighting Muskrats. And Bluffton Tech is gonna tie things up here with their hated rivals on the northern part of I-75. And all of a sudden, this game gets a whole lot more interesting. So, all tied up at 7 here as we get towards the end of the first quarter, as Toledo will come out for their next drive. They haven't done anything major offensively yet. It's more of us hurting ourselves defensively, and this is not what we wanted to see at all. Just their tight end getting absolutely loose with it, and it's a massive gain for the Rockets, as right away we find ourselves deep in our own territory. Really need our guys on the defensive side of the ball to really lock in here, as they'll go quickly over to the left-hand side and hang it up. And making a tough catch is Julius Newton, as that will be the last meaningful play that we see from the end of the first quarter. It's been a pretty even game, even though we have dominated the time of possession. So we'll go ahead and jump into the second quarter of action, as Toledo's going to set up some kind of midline screen. Couldn't make the tackle initially, and that play will get Luke Pollock, the Toledo kicker, into field goal range. On this 3rd and 4, I'm sure they're going to be thinking of much more than that. We go ahead and settle down for the run, but this might hurt us. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. If he would have saw the running back, we would have given up another touchdown. Very fortunate that the quarterback did not see him there. And that means on a 4th and 4, we're going to settle for, they're going to make themselves for a field goal. Kick is good, but hey, after giving up that big play to the tight end, love that our defense locked it in. And we can get a little bit closer to maybe pulling this big time upset off. So now we jump into our next drive of the game. We had a real methodical drive last time that we came out here, and we're going to be looking for the same thing. You know, love to have those explosive plays, but above all, I really just want to make sure that we're remaining patient more than anything else, as we try to get that pass out to Will Peoples once again, but it was well covered. And now it's a situation that I don't really like to be in. 3rd and 8, wanted to get it out to on the halfback screen, and just did not have the time to get that ball out there to where we wanted it. So now we will have our defense out there again, and that's a nice job on the deflection. That's the senior corner, Jaden Bowie, who's able to get a pull down there, and that's going to make it 2nd and 10. As Toledo lined up in the gun, it's going to go ahead and hand it off to the tailback, who does get away from a couple of defenders briefly before Jaquez Stewart is ultimately brought down for a gain of 6, which makes this 3rd down a lot more manageable. Playbook wide open here. We're going to go to the right-hand side, and it's going to be caught. 1st down for the Toledo Rockets. And for the 2nd time today, Toledo is going to be starting, at least across the 50-yard line. They're crossing midfield once again, as they'll quickly go into the no huddle, trying to get our defense off balance as they run a quick RPO over to the right-hand side. Able to find the tight end, Tucker Gleason, who gets them closer to those sticks, but another third down is waiting for them, though. Looking over to the right-hand side, and it's going to be broken. Thankfully, Foreman is able to bring him down, the linebacker. But with that being said, Toledo is able to get yet another first down. As I thought a couple plays later we were going to have a big-time play, but unfortunately we hurt ourselves even more as Tajay Holes gets caught with the face mask. So Dirty Laundry out on the field is going to be an automatic first down. And on the next play, they make us absolutely play for it. Toledo is going to find the end zone once again. And it is one of their receivers that is able to find the end zone. No other than Jerjuan Newton able to score here, and he's been a thorn in our side. So down 17-7. This could be a fork in the road for our team going into this final quarter of action. And just gotta be patient on this drive. The offense has been playing okay, but we really need to come away from this drive with some points. I don't want to see Toledo to start pulling away and building momentum before going into halftime. This is a run that I like to see. Will Peoples gonna get across the 50 again. And the freshman tailback is having a big day here in the first half. He's already at almost 80 yards in the first half of action. As now, 1st and 10 again. Armstrong looking, doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to take off using his legs. Able to pick up a gain of 7, though. So that would take us into the 2-minute warning, as that is a tight throw. Thankfully is brought in, but man, that could have been a danger zone throw type of moment. Instead, it's going to be a brand new set of downs for the Fighting Muskrats. As now, 1st and 10, Armstrong looking over the left-hand side, and we had an open receiver. DJ Armstrong just missed him, though. And instead, it takes us over to a 3rd and long. Hoping that our offensive line can hold up, but for not very long, though, as we should have gotten a little bit more oomph on that ball. Could have been a touchdown, and instead, gonna try and go for a 45-yard field goal. This actually had the right angle, but Welsh just couldn't get any leg on it, and that's gonna hurt us tremendously, as that was our chance to get points up on the board and make this a one-possession game. Instead, we're gonna hope that our defense is gonna come out here and hopefully keep it at this 17-7 score that you currently see at the half. So, 3rd and short coming up as Toledo runs the halfback screen again, and it's going to hop over a defender before being brought out of bounds by Foreman. Jaquez Stewart continuing to be a problem. He's been a dynamic running back for Toledo Rockets here today. And they're going to look to continue that. This time they run the screen to the left-hand side, but this time we read it. Jarian Love is going to have none of that, as we'll get the tailback behind the line of scrimmage. As now, 3rd and 11, and there's a wide butt naked open person. You gotta be kidding me. Steffens is able to run down the length of the field, over the middle, mind you, and there's nobody there in zone coverage. I felt like I had somebody in zone coverage there, but apparently that is not the case. But nothing that we can do about it now, as we'll just have to continue to lock in and try to force yet another field goal attempt at the bare minimum. Porter Winstrid is going to help with that, as he got a deflection on the last play. But on the 2nd and 10, looking over to the right-hand side, that one is going to be completed, but will be tackled right away. So no opportunities there to get any yards after the catch. We'll see if that continues on a 3rd and 4. It's intercepted. Nico Solomon able to get his hands on the ball there. That is the upperclassman at the free safety position that is able to get his arms, outstretched arms, up into the air and is able to successfully bring that pass in. And that's going to be extremely helpful now, as we do have a little bit of an opportunity here to get points before going into halftime. Let's see how we approach it. 27 seconds left. Have a chance to go down the length of the field. It's caught! First down for the Fighting Muskrats. And here comes Bluffton Tech. Still got 2 timeouts left to work with, and so go with the play action once again. Trying to throw over the middle, but was a little bit impatient there. If he waited a step longer, we were going to have that post open. But that's going to be a learning experience for DJ Armstrong. You know, he does have the arm talent. He just got to do a better job of reading the defense. And again, that's just a matter of being able to put together a ball that's going to be thrown in the air with a little bit more touch. Tried to fit it in with his rocket arm, and it didn't work. It simply did not work at all. So, opportunity to put points on the board before going into halftime gets completely wasted. And that is going to take us through the end of the first half. Toledo would get a field goal a couple of plays later. And while we're certainly still in this game, we need more production out of our offense. We're going to pull this upset off. So let's go ahead and jump right into the second half of action. And Toledo, while they did start with the ball, at the same time, though, we did force a 3-and-out to get things started here. So not a bad way to start the second half at all. We just got to continue to at least put together consistency on drives, because we're able to move the ball downfield at times, able to put together a couple of really nice plays too, but it's about that full body of work. It's about fully putting it together so that we can actually put points up on the board, as we wanted to be aggressive, but I think that aggression is just not working in our favor at all. Wanting those big plays, DJ Armstrong wants to attack down the length of the field, but you just got to be more patient in that. And that's been a big microcosm in terms of a reason why we have not been able to have as much success offensively as we originally wanted to have. So needless to say, we're down 20-7. Toledo's going to have the ball yet again. And this could be a true danger zone moment. Tucker Gleason really starting to find a rhythm here. And because he's starting to find a rhythm, that means everything is on the table here offensively. Got to really lock in here, as it looks like they're going to know it's not a play fake. But thankfully, oh my goodness, we were thinking about biting on that run. And thankfully, the corner blitz that we did end up calling, we were successfully able to bring home. That's Octavius Terrell, the senior linebacker, that's able to get home and provide our defense with a little bit more breathing room. However, on the very next play, Tucker Gleason is going to throw a beautiful comeback route to Larry Steffens. And Larry Steffens will indeed pick up the first down. So a red zone opportunity incoming for the Rockets once again. And we're not doing ourselves any favors either, as on the very next play, literally, Jarian Love, who had the sack or the TFL earlier today, he gets caught, you know, in getting that neutral zone infraction. It becomes 1st and 5, but thankfully the rest of the drive, we were able to lock it in a little bit better. And we will at least force the Toledo Rockets to settle for a field goal. So what I will say about our defense, and listen, we are certainly bending at multiple moments, no Diddy as well, but we're not breaking, and we're putting ourselves in a chance to where we can still make a comeback happen within reason. It's just this offensive side of the ball. I need these guys to really need to start them figuring something out here. Let's see if we can figure something out here on this drive, so we can put points on the board yet again, as we'll try to run a jet sweep to the left-hand side. Pretty good blocking there, as Chris Gentry was almost able to completely turn that corner. So a 3rd and 6, which still isn't great by any means, but it's much more manageable. We'll see if we can pick up this 3rd and 6. So we want to go to the left-hand side, and that's a nice grab up in the air. Able to pick up that first down, and once again, we find ourselves at about midfield. Let's see if we can do something with this new field position. At that time we just froze up. We just did not make a decision there. DJ Armstrong's got to let that ball go a little bit sooner, as we walked ourselves right into a sack because of that. So, made a really good play a couple of plays ago, but then have to walk it back for an 8-yard loss. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you make those good plays, but it's the consistency that always matters to me, right? So, 3rd and 13 coming up for us here. And this is certainly not where we want to be. 3rd and 13. It's going to be a long one to try to pick up. So, we try to go with a halfback draw, see if we can catch them napping. And, of course, it doesn't work out in our direction at all, as that is going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll also take a quick look at the college football playoff rankings, as it looks like there's still a few undefeated teams left around the country. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this 4th quarter of action, though, as we try to come back from 16 down. Armstrong gonna throw it out to the right-hand side, finds McQuarrie. But there is some laundry on the field, though, and they're going to call it on this offense yet again. Back to McClure this time, the guilty party. And this is going to make a much longer 3rd down. Eventually, it's to a point where it's 3rd and 20. Just trying to make anything happen over the middle of the field. And sure enough, there is Chris Gentry able to make that aggressive catch and able to haul it in as well. Great play by the freshman. He's certainly going to have a bright future in our program. It's just a matter of, can we continue that, as Williamson is still not going to be brought down, at least not without a fight. So able to pick up a 1st down there yet again, but after a couple of unforced errors, we had a holding penalty that brought us back tremendously. We're back here again with a 3rd and 18. We picked up 1 first down not too long ago, but we won't have such luck this time around. And at this point in the game, only got 5 minutes left in this matchup. We just got to try to send it. Let's see if the all-go can work out for us here. Is 4th and 16. Looking over the middle and nearly picking up the 1st down there again. If only we were able to really work ourselves down the field a little bit more. We did throw it behind Scotty McQuarrie. And yeah, that means we will have to turn the ball over. And I feel like our defense is really starting to feel a little bit discouraged at this point. You know, we're starting to give up longer plays defensively, both through the air and on the ground as well. And listen, to be fair, I thought our defense has played they did a solid job today. And yet, here we are still down multiple possessions because of those issues that we've had all season long. And that is our offense. Got to find offensive consistency moving forward, because, again, the defense does rise up, gets a stop. We keep them out of the end zone yet again. And that's really the difference between this being just an absolute blowout and super simming it out of this game a long time ago, or at least keeping it reasonably close. It's still not a very close game. We're probably going to lose this game, to be honest with you. But the old adage is, you got to start out by losing big, and then lose by a little less, then win by a little, and then win by a lot is that final step to being a great program. And I think we're starting to trend in that right direction. You know, we're not getting killed as much as the Akron game, for example, earlier in the season. But we'll have to see if, with a minute 30 left, let's see if we can find a way to come out here and pick up some extra yards, which this one could go all the way in. Oh, it's incomplete, bro. DJ Armstrong had him, and he overthrew him, unfortunately. So, 4th and 2 coming up. DJ Armstrong is going to move Will Peoples into the motion. We do have an open receiver where, again, there's Chris Gentry able to go to work there. It's, you know, Chris Gentry able to have a bright spot today, but just hasn't led to a lot of results from a team perspective. As we are getting into this final minute of this game, hopefully we have a chance to finally finish this, finish the drive strong here. As Circle got open here, and it's gonna catch it. Foreman's going down the sideline, and he's gonna be gone like a girl in a country sock. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. The Fighting Muskrats will score multiple offensive touchdowns in this game, and while it might not affect the bottom line, it might not affect that final score, at least with a throw like that, we can take some more positives into next week, as we will fall once again, this time only losing by 12. So we are getting better, we are making steps in the right direction. It's just, we just got to get to a point where we put it all together at some point. So listen, we lost this game. We lost yet another game, but from an offensive standpoint, this is one of the better performances that I honestly have had all year long, and I think we've really started to figure something out. First of all, we had more total yards than Toledo, and we rushed for more yards on the ground than the Rockets did. What killed us today more than anything was untimely penalties and those turnovers yet again, but I'm really starting to feel like we're starting to figure things out, and while the Heisman difficulty is still giving us a hard time at some points, at other tokens, we're able to find ways to continue to get better every single time we take the field. A perfect example of this is TJ Armstrong, and listen, he threw 3 interceptions. That's not good, but it's not like those decisions were like genuinely bad decisions. Most of those picks, 2 of those 3 picks, was because it was a bad throw. Like, that's not, I'll take that. And he threw 2 touchdown passes as well, which is not bad either. Will Peoples also had a successful day with 14 carries and 86 yards. He's, getting closer to that 100-yard game. Hopefully we can get him a 100-yard game this season. As for receivers, Javion Foreman had a big day today. He had 7 catches for 135 yards and a touchdown. The other person able to find the end zone just so happens to be Will Peoples as well. Chris Gentry had a pretty good day today. He had 6 catches for 67 yards in this one. Defensively, we had our good moments, and there wasn't some not so good moments for sure, but Nash Birthday did end up leading the team in tackles. He had 10 total tackles alongside Xavier Wilson, who's a junior on this team. We were also able to get to this quarterback one time as Octavius Terrell and Xavier Wilson did combine for a sack, but would like to see more consistent pressure going forward. And of course, Nico Solomon was able to get an interception in the end zone, stopping the Toledo Rockets on one of their red zone drives. So listen, we're continuing to get better, and I have a feeling that if we continue this trajectory, we are not going to finish 0-12 like I thought could have been the case when we first started MAC play, for example. And hey, we were able to figure some things out in this particular game as well, as we did get a big commitment from Ross John, the 3-star running back out of Detroit, Michigan. However, that being said, we did lose on the battle for Dave Bynum, who is going to end up signing with Michigan State, so we couldn't get him to go to our school, which is a huge bummer because we could really use the offensive line help. But we actually had a bye week as well, so we actually had another week of recruiting, and we get another 3-star to come to the program. Kane Bojacek from Lewis Center, Ohio. He's a free safety. He's going to be coming to our program. And then we also are in the top 3 in various competitions as well. So we're closing in on, some really good recruits. We just hope that we can come out here and win some of these battles when it's all said and done. But next episode, we will go on the road once again, so maybe an opportunity for us to bring out some alternate jerseys. Next episode, we'll be taking on Central Michigan, as the Chippewas have those aspirations to go to the MAC championship as well. But let's see if we can play a little bit of spoiler here, as we are very excited to get into the next episode, and I hope you guys are excited for it as well. If you are, make sure you go ahead and smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new. We haven't won a single game yet, but we continue to get better every single game, not only with our players on the field, but me as a user as well. So I hope you continue to enjoy this journey with me. With that being said, I'm getting ready to sign off, but hopefully you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.